Good morning. It's Wednesday morning. Welcome to Morning Prime. My name is Houghton. I do this 3 days a week here live on Facebook, Monday, Wednesday, Friday mornings at 7:07 a.m. Mountain Time. That's 9:07 a.m. for folks on the East Coast. Thank you for joining me. Morning Prime is all about getting our minds and our bodies calm, positive, and prepared for our day, and it only takes 15 minutes. This is my personal morning priming routine. Each day I pick the tools that I need, and we do them here together. I share them with you, and we go through this experience as a team in this time of quarantine and change and challenge in our business and our personal lives. So let's go ahead and get started. Today, the first activity is in the calm category. This is the Founder's First Workshop, Build Your Perfect Morning Routine worksheet. And I use this every morning to design what I need for the day. I pick the tools that will serve my goals and where I am personally, and we get started. So the first tool today in the calm category is 10 clearing breaths. If you've joined us before, this is how I typically like to start the day. So let's do this together. A clearing breath. We breathe in, expand our chest up and out just a little bit, not super exaggerated. Hold for half second or a second. And then the release is like a balloon has been popped. We release all of our air out. When we release our air, we can drop our shoulders and just relax as well. Let everything else go. Any thoughts or tension, try and just let it all go on the out breath. And we'll do 10 of these together. I'll count them out. Here we go. First breath in. And let it out. Second breath in. Third breath in. Fifth breath in. Don't be afraid of the noise your breath makes on the way in or the way out. Just let it happen. Do whatever is natural. Breathe in, 6. Breath 7. 8. 2 more. Breath 10. Let's do one more just for fun. Sometimes if I find myself trying to control that out breath, I do a couple more. I felt that a little bit on the last one, so let's do one more here. Breathe in. Don't control the release, just let it out. Try and imagine shoulders coming down, anything mentally you're holding on to, any thoughts, any concerns, worries, just letting that go on the out breath and returning back to who we are without that extra baggage. Our next category is positive. So creating positivity in our lives. We don't always wake up in the perfect mental state. We'd like to think we do. This Sleeping Beauty concept where we just wake up and we're all energized and ready to go, and all our baggage from the day before and maybe concerns about how we didn't sleep well are just gone and float away, and we start back at zero again. Unfortunately, that's not the reality. So priming our minds with positivity in the morning is returning us to as close to that optimal state as we can get as we start our day. So today for positivity, we're going to do gratitude journaling. And it's consistently one of the tools that I hear from high performers in entrepreneurship and in other professions as well, that they use to bring their minds to calm and to positive in the morning. So whatever mind state we start the day out with, it tends to perpetuate itself through the day. There's a momentum with our mental state. If it's positive, we see things through rose-colored lenses and glasses, and We interpret things more positively. We think about how the other person who maybe said something to us might have felt in the moment and what they need and what they're not getting, versus having our ego respond to it and responding from a place of protecting ourselves when that isn't always needed. So grab a sheet of paper if you'd like, or you can just do this in your head. Let's follow along as we think of things that we're grateful for as we start the day. So if you're journaling on a sheet of paper, go ahead and get in a comfortable position where you can sit for a couple minutes, pen or pencil. And I would recommend people not to do it on a smartphone just because it's such a distraction. It's so easy to get pulled into something else. So on paper, or you can just sit and you can do this practice just in your head as well. All right, here we go. You can close your eyes if you're just thinking things through in your head. So think of something that happened over the last couple of days, the first couple of days of the week as we've started. We're here in the middle of the week now. What has something been that you had a moment where you thought, oh man, that exceeded my expectations. That's something I can be grateful for. Or maybe even it's a person, somebody who has brought something into your life, shared something with you, helped. Or maybe it's a way that you helped somebody else. Let's start with how we've helped somebody else. Think of a way that you impacted somebody else's life in the first 2 days of this week, and be grateful for the strength that you have, the opportunity you had in that moment to be grounded enough to share something with someone or to just help them in some way that created a better situation for them. Let's be grateful for our energy and our strength and our ability to see what that person needed in the moment and deliver it. Now let's think about an event that happened. Let's think about something that occurred over the first couple of days of the week that left us feeling really excited, energized, or just grateful that we were thankful that somebody was there for us or that an event happened the way that it happened. See if you can come up with one or two of those events in your mind right now. All right, now let's think ahead to the second half of the week that we have ahead of us. What's an opportunity to be truly grateful and appreciative of something that's coming up? Could be a challenge. Challenges are good, right? A certain level of challenge, I think, always gets me excited and energized. It helps me focus and plan. I'm definitely a procrastinator, so if I know a challenge is coming tomorrow, I'll get prepared maybe this evening or tomorrow morning. But at least it forces me to get prepared. And so I can appreciate that. That's something I'm grateful for. So see if you can think of one or two events coming up in the rest of your week where you could be grateful for the challenge or the opportunity, or maybe just a moment to relax, maybe a moment to connect with somebody. See if you can come up with two, maybe even three in your mind right now. All right, let's move into the preparation category. So morning prime is all about getting our minds and our bodies calm, positive, and prepared. So preparation gives us that momentum as well to know where we want to go. Imagine the basketball player envisioning the shot as it goes in, or the artist visualizing where they want to go with a finished project, or the creator or the sculptor imagining what the finished outcome is going to look like. It makes it so much easier to start. I think it's less scary when we can envision the outcome, and it guides us every step of the way through our journey. If we can picture what that outcome looks like, we can communicate it to other people more accurately, more clearly, more consistently, and that ends up helping us reach our goals. So today, the practice is a top 5 list. It's thinking about what you want to accomplish with the rest of your time this week, or maybe even just today on Wednesday in the middle of the week. What do you want to accomplish and what would be important to have accomplished at the end of the day or at the end of the week. So pick whichever time frame you'd like to think across, whichever is most helpful to you. If you feel like you've got an overwhelming pile of things that you need to think about for today, work on today. If you've got some opportunity to optimize over the next couple of days, let's look across the whole rest of the week through Friday evening, and heck, maybe with our work schedules right now, through the weekend as well. So go ahead and picture your time frame and start collecting in your mind all of the things that you could possibly work on during this time. Let's say reasonably around your goals, short-term or long-term. Start to brainstorm those. You can just think about them in your mind. If you've got some paper and an opportunity to write it down, that's fine too. So let's take 30 seconds and plan this big list, and then we're going to filter it down to the things that are most important. So just brainstorm. What could you work on? What would be a reasonable thing to be working on this week or today? All right, I've got my big list of things that I could be possibly working on this week, and it's a big list, as always. So let's start with the top 3, and then if 4 or 5 develop as well, that's fine. So think about the things that you would be most proud of, most excited to have completed, either at the end of the day or at the end of this week. And you're sitting in that moment, looking back, and you're checking these things off your to-do list. And they're not just things that you enjoyed doing, they're also things that were the most important things you could have worked on. They've delivered meaningful results, and they're things that you were prepared in the moment as you started to tackle and to accomplish to a really high degree. So take 30 seconds and let's see if we can filter down to those top 3 things that we should be spending our time on this week. You can just do it in your head, or you can do it on a sheet of paper if you'd like. Again, with this practice, I recommend not using an electronic device if it's going to have things from the outside world that are going to take you out of this moment and the practice. We've got just 1 minute left anyway, so let's use it for us. All right, see if you can come up with your top 3. I've got my top 2. All right, I'm trying to come up with one more to focus on. I'm looking over the rest of the week. So let's see here. Can you come up with 3? No more than 5 as well. All right, I've got my 3rd one. There we go. Perfect. All right, I'm ready to start my day. I'm gonna write these down. I'm gonna put this in front of my, or behind my laptop, so that if I find myself getting distracted today, I know how to bring it back in again onto the things that I've decided are most important. And look, things can always change. If you get 30 minutes into the day and some sort of new crisis comes up, you know, this isn't set in stone, but it's a great way to guide us so that if we find ourselves distracted by things that don't matter, we can get back on track again. And that's why top 5 list or top 3 list is one of my favorite practices to start my day. So there we go. That was Morning Prime. Thank you so much for joining me. It's just 15 minutes long. It feels in the beginning like it's gonna be like hours. It's always hard for me to commit this time to myself. When the end of 15 minutes gets here, I always feel like 3 minutes has passed and that was it. And if I've done it right, I feel calm, positive, and prepared as I'm starting my day. So thank you so much for joining me. I do this here on Facebook Live 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings at 7:07 a.m. Mountain Time and 9:07 a.m. for folks on the East Coast. Have a great day today. Thank you so much for joining me.